Good morning and welcome, dear African Union Youth Volunteer Corps Search Team. I am Oguine Ifeanacho. I decided to use this medium to extend my profile in this application because organizations, both local and international organizations, are going into electronic mass medium communication technology to drive their growth. I will in this program use this electronic medium, the YouTube, to project my host organization, my host community, my host country, their activities, their potentials, their challenges, their limitations, including their achievements to the international community if my application is favored. I am the co-founder and director of Oguine Electrical Stores. I started my business in 2015 working with two staffs and have been able to drive my annual sales revenue from 1.2 million to 3.02 million naira in 2 years. Previously, I was the general manager of Oguine and Sons. I pride myself on being a self-taught, self-starter, and hard-working professional entrepreneur who helped my former employer survive recession by designing and implementing successful business model that helped to generate a monthly credit facility worth over 600,000 from 5 different clients in Lagos, 2 regular phone calls, and web bill. This drove the annual sales revenue of the company from 3.2 million naira to 8.23 million naira in 6 years. In this position, I was privileged to have worked with and trained 8 staff who are currently professional sales director in Nigeria. One practical skill, tools and attributes I realized was essential for me to achieve this business turnaround is my leadership, my motivational, interactive, team player abilities, including loyalty and honesty, that motivated my clients in Lagos, my colleagues, my team members, my subordinates to make a commitment, a dedication of over 100% to the business. Previously, I volunteered for 1 year as a chemistry and biology class teacher at National High School Etebi in Akwa Ibom State for 12 months. In this position, there was a paradigm shift in the average number of successes recorded in the external examination taken by the students. In fact, the figure moves from 10% to 18% in 12 months. I also volunteered for 1 year for National Youth Service Corps, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Drug Free Crop in Akwa Ibom State for 1 year, where I led groups to create a massive awareness campaign on drug abuse. In one of the usual sittings and outing programs where we attended, where village heads and community leaders were in attendance. After the program, the village head invited our groups to conduct similar activities, similar campaign awareness program in 10 community schools in the village. I have a master's degree in biochemistry in 2014 from University of Ilori with a special interest in clinical aspects. Currently, I volunteer 36 to 40 hours at General Hospital Ilori as a physiotherapist under the federal government of Nigeria sponsored Empower Youth Volunteer programs for 500,000 youths in Nigeria. According to UNESCO 2013 report, 30 million out of school children lives in sub-Saharan Africa out of a total of 57 million out of school children globally. This means that Africa contributes 47% of the out of school children population globally. Regrettably, my country, Nigeria, contributes 10.5 million people to this figure. This means that Nigeria contributes about 35% to this figure in Africa and by extension contributes 18.42% globally. In fact, Nigeria records the highest number of out-of-school children globally. This is disheartening. This is a mind-boggling figure because Nigeria ranks the 8th position as the greatest producer of oil and gas in the global scene. I see no reason why Nigeria should take the lead in this category because Nigeria has the resources, they have the capital resources, they have the human resources, likewise every other African country. So I keep asking myself, where is this problem coming from? What is the originator of this problem? Available records also shows that half of the total number of university graduates in Africa are out of job. It's also established that 40 million young African out of a total of 200 million young Africans from the ages of 15 to 24 are in unstable employment. 18 million of these young Africans are looking for a job, while 22 million have already given up. Only a minority of this age group are in what we call the good job. Research also shows that 68% of people living with HIV and AIDS globally lives or resides in Africa, and yet to worsen the matter, they do not have access to healthcare facility. However, the African continent contributes only 15% to the global population with about 1 billion people. The causes of these irrepressible and uncontrollable conditions are partly those of the government and partly those of the citizens. They are partly those as a result of shortages in human resources and as a result of shortages in funds. They are partly as a result of unavailability of funds and unavailability of human resources. It is partly as a result of misappropriation, misutilization, and mobilization of available funds and human resources. Let me call this a mismatching of skill sets with available roles and vacancies. In fact, this is like putting a round peg in a square hole or putting a square peg in a round hole. During and after this program, I believe that organizations, communities, government will have more money and better position to build new schools, new hospitals, and upgrade existing ones and provide more basic social amenities like water, electricity, good roads that can support the life of her citizens. This unacceptable condition, unacceptable trends, these unacceptable establishments and conditions must be expunged. They must be exterminated and kicked out of Africa. Something needs to be done. African Union Youth Volunteer Corps has come with a wind of change to bring about this change we are talking about. And that is why I am applying to see where I can play a major role to remove these ugly conditions, these inflictions. Let us therefore come together as African youths. Let us therefore come together as Africa to see how we can roll out this scourge out of Africa so that together we can have the Africa of our dream, so that together we can have a united and strong Africa. My ideal work is to work in an organization where my roles will be leading youth empowerment programs, delivering in a service ranging from after school, a life working education, life skill education, placement of drug abuse victims in safe houses, counseling programs, counseling young juvenile offenders, health fitness training, as well as entrepreneurial skills training. Leading in programs dealing with equal provision, equal distribution of health and education facility, and life support programs for all citizens. As a professional sales director in Nigeria with experience in health, education, agri, humanitarian activity, as well as manufacturing sector, I want to serve in an organization where I could give back to the community according to my skill, according to my experience, and according to my education by training or assisting people and organizations in this capacity if I get a similar position. Let me at this point reiterate that my present work schedule in Nigeria is flexible, and I can and I will make a total of 12 months commitment working in any African country that I am posted for this program to achieve these goals, these dreams, and this desire, a united, strong Africa. Finally, if my application is favored, I will bring Nigeria to my host community. I will bring Nigeria to my host country. And after 12 months of my successive service, I will take my host community, I will take my host country back to Nigeria. Thank you.